From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big evening of evenings, LALATE, as your fourth stimulus check of 2021 heats up with incredible great news. That is the monthly stimulus check that starts the month of July and goes all the way to December, and would be the biggest single payout the federal government has ever given you on stimulus checks, monthly stimulus checks. You get it, and how much do you get? In this video, we go over all the incredible great news. Today, data after data hit that signaled this fourth stimulus is right on the cusp of the finish line. 2 bills, 2 months, 2 steps. We go over the incredible great news for fourth stimulus now finishing on the cusp of the very moment. We're 2 months out to get this done, and it has already started. I have all the incredible details about the fourth stimulus check. This is a stimulus check that pays you if you make less than $75,000, if you're on SSI or SSDI, Social Security or Railroad benefits, and if you make less than $150,000 as a married couple. We have the big data as well about what's going on with fifth stimulus and the big money that's landing this week in your bank account from third stimulus. There's a lot of other money, $5, $10, $15, $20,000 that's coming this week. I have all the incredible details, and it starts right now as we begin Evenings LALATE. Everybody, it's Monday evening, and I am so excited you are here for your fourth stimulus check of update of 2021, starting right now. In this recording, we'll go over the big money, who's going to get it, when you're going to get it, and why the incredible great news unfolded today, especially if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and Railroad benefits. Then we'll be cutting to the big money of third stimulus, that money that's landing this week. Yes, some of it's automatic, some of it's not, some of it you have to do something for. But I'm going to show you how you do it, and I'm going to show you how you get it. It's incredible great news. Then we'll be cutting to the fifth stimulus, the big money that comes in the fall. And we'll go over why people's lives will be changed for the ever, changed for the best after many decades of bad legislation and poor payments. It's going to all open up, and the heavens of money will start to flow in the fifth stimulus this fall. I have all the incredible great news across the board, and make sure you subscribe. This is LALATE, the only 24-hour a day, 7 days a week financial news channel. From Wall Street to Main Street, from crypto to stimulus, I have it all covered, and I want you personally part of this channel. So subscribe right now. The subscribe link is underneath this video. Also like this video, 3,000 likes, and if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. The link is well in the chat and in the pinned comment and the top of the description. Let's get to the breaking news starting right now. Fourth stimulus is the single biggest payout you'll ever see in the history of this channel, and it has 2 approaches, the House approach and the Senate approach. And today, incredible push, incredible great news signaling we are heating up. The fourth stimulus package is a 2-step, 2-bill, 2-month process that has already begun. The reconciliation process has already begun. The Senate and House subcommittees have already started to draft the legislation, and we are out less than 2 months out from that final vote. Let's look at and compare the House versus Senate comments. If you're in the live chat, pay attention, because I'm going to want you to interact with me right in a second. First, the House plan introduced provides stimulus checks of more months, but of smaller amounts. Do we like that, or do we not like that? In 1 second, let's compare. The House members propose stimulus checks for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. So that's a lot of stimulus checks. For example, let's say there's 4 months left of the pandemic. They would give you 4 months plus 12 months on top of that. Wow, a lot of checks. That's a lot of checks, people. But then the senators only propose stimulus checks from now to December. That's only 6 checks. But wait a second, there's more. Before we come to a conclusion, let's look at the monthly payouts. The House members propose a smaller monthly payout. $1,000 after the first month is what's in their bill. The senators, the amount is unknown, but word on the street is the senators want to double the House members' checks, at least, approximately. Let's let's look at what the word on the street says. $2,000 a month is what the senators reportedly want to pay you. Over 6 months, $12,000. Or $1,400 over 6 months, $8,400. Wow, wow, wow. This is a big now game changer. When we compare the House versus Senate plan, the House plan, for example, 16 months, 16 checks, for $16,000 or $17,000. The Senate plan over the same duration, you would get $12,000, but in just 6 months. So here, as one possibility. So here is why people ultimately have two choices to choose from. House or Senate? Which one is it? Drop in the live chat right now. House or Senate? If you prefer a little bit less money, but faster in 6 months, you're probably going to choose Senate. If you're going to choose a larger amount, but taking 16 months over a much longer duration, you're going to choose House. Drop in the comments right now. House or Senate? Which one do you like? All right, let's get to the back of that data and the analysis right now. When you get it, how do you get it, who gets it, and how does it come to you? Let's get to it. First, in the month of July, for the month of July, vote in the month of July. These are the representations of Congress. I'm just the reporter. I'm not the legislator. They are representing. The final vote will be by July 4th, and the check would go out for the month of July in the month of July. Incredible, great news. This is a monthly stimulus check. It's not a wave check, so it would not come like third stimulus check. July would come in July. August would come in August. September would come in August. Away we go. Is it income? Absolutely, categorically not. Has any other stimulus check been income? It's not income. It is not income. It's not a taxable event. And finally, who gets it and how much do they get? Is there watered down checks or is there enhanced checks? No. Everyone gets the same check. Wow, great news. Adult dependents, children, minors, everyone gets the same amount of check. So the amount you saw in the video in the graphic before, that is you. Whether you are 16 years old tuning in or 62 years old tuning in, that is yours. Then the income qualification, same as third stimulus. If you make less than $75,000, you're getting it. $150,000 less, married couple, you are getting it. Just double it by 2. Household 4 or less, well, if there's 4 people in the household, you're getting it times 4. And then if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, you are getting it as well. There we go. Amen. Why haven't they started the bill? They have started the bill. Who told you they haven't started the bill? I've been telling you since last weekend they've started the bill. Why haven't they voted on the bill? Because it's a two-step, 2-month process. They can't vote on the bill. They got to first do the substantive bill, and they also have to do the procedural bill. It's a lot of legislative writing, and they have already been doing it. 2 steps, 2 bill, 2-month process, and away we go. Very easy breezy to understand, and there is the elements. Now, incredible interesting news across the board that hit today that impacts forced stimulus, which was a new statement by Chicago Federal Reserve President Charles Evans. I'll have his comments in a second. And a new shocking developing statement by Chipotle about wages. I was speechless when I read this, and I'm rarely speechless. So I'm going to go over that in 1 second, but I want to give you the backdrop of today's news that came in from both of those companies. Well, from both the federal government and from Chipotle. The news is on the heels of what happened on Friday. You may have taken an early weekend break, so you may have missed what happened on Friday. But if you didn't, then stay back and just say, I know that. On Friday, the new jobs numbers was released, and the new jobs numbers came in, revealing what happened in the month before. I had told you over 32 days that this was going to be singly the most important number for your forced stimulus when revealed, and it was. And it was absolutely incredible, great news for your forced stimulus to get done and out the door. Why? Because the number came out. The president took the number, and the president got his megaphone out and said, do forced stimulus right now. This number is no good. Do forced stimulus right now. 1, the number was no good. He's correct. Number 2, he has the largest megaphone in the Democratic Party. Number 3, he's speaking to his fellow Democrats. He's not speaking to the Republicans. They're not doing the bill. The 2-step, 2-month, 2-bill process does not involve Republicans. It is a reconciliation process with Democrats. He's speaking to them. And so that number on Friday was no good, and he gave them the pep rally. Now, it was not just pep, it was also substance 2 days earlier. earlier, 2 days earlier, the president came out with categorically the best news you have ever heard from this president about forced stimulus. And that news was the corporate tax rate. The corporate tax rate had remained the single only issue that could have been divisive among the Democratic leadership and voted on the two-bill, two-month, two-step process. And that concession came from the president. Incredible, great news. He had approached the current 21% corporate tax rate with a proposal of 28%. Proposal, not a bill. He doesn't write the bills. And the Democrats pushed back and said, you're too high. It's currently too low. Meet us in the middle. How about 25? He said, deal done, and away we go. Amen. This shows that there is a process and a man and a focus getting it done. So that was Friday. Friday's numbers for jobs came out poorly. And what did the president and the data say today? More about that coming up in a second. But wow, I'm really excited for this week because guess what? You're getting more money. Before I cut back to forced stimulus and what happened with today's data, I'm really excited for you because you're getting more money and the more money is coming this week. Amen. I'm really excited for you. Get out a pen and paper. If you're just tuning in and you don't have a pen and paper near you, I recommend whenever you watch these broadcasts to get a pen and paper. You know why? Because I've had some people in some of the comments, at least on Facebook, saying, I just need that next check when that check coming. Don't please do that to yourself. This is not 2020. We're not tracking checks, we're cashing checks. And I got a lot of checks for you to cash between now and July. And if you're just tracking your check and it's not doing anything between now and July, you are setting yourself up for trouble. Don't do that. This is not a tracking check channel. This is a cashing check channel. And I got a lot of checks for you to cash starting right now. I'm going to have about 7 items for you to listen to. The first few apply to everyone, and then other ones apply to certain groups of people. So let's go through them. And if I talk too fast, which sometimes I do, you can always pull back this video after it's archived and replay that section. All right, guess what? There is $5,000 to $20,000 of money going live this week, and it went live last week. It's going live this week, and it's going live next week. What is it? Have you gotten it? I want you to get it. Get it right now. It is rent, utilities, and also food and mortgage assistance. It's third stimulus money. I have been telling you since January that do not just focus on a stimulus check. It was $1,400. God bless it. You got it. You cashed it. You're done. But there's $5,000 to $20,000 out there, folks. Why are you focusing on $1,400 anymore or focusing on the next stimulus check? Focus on the $5,000 to $20,000. Let's get it. First, rent. Where is it? How much is it? How do you get it? You get it at 6 places and 1 add-on. Your city hall, your county hall, your state hall, and then your state housing authority, county housing authority, and city housing authority. Go get it. Incredible, great news. How much money? 4 to 6 months of rent, generally $5,000. Then also utilities on top of it, which could be thousands of dollars. And finally, mortgage assistance. If you have a home, renters, the mortgage and also the utilities. That's $5,000 approximately. Why would you not get it? It has changed the lives of millions of viewers of this channel. I've gotten viewers over $250,000 of this money since November of last year. But let's turn to the next group of items, which is SNAP. SNAP is money for food. Department of Agriculture. Call up 211, ask for SNAP, Department of Agriculture. That money for food is absolutely incredible. How much money? $16,000. A family of 4 in Hawaii now has a 15% increase between the Trump and the Biden executive orders, which brings them to $16,000 over 1 year. Go get SNAP. Go get SNAP right now. Now, before we proceed, what I want to give you is both information in this video and tough love. You're going to see a lot of tough love from me in the next 7 days because there's a couple of items that you absolutely are entitled to get. Thousands of dollars. I want you to get it. But guess what? It's going away after that. It's never going to come back after that. And you cannot come asking for it after that because it will not be available. It will have canceled out. So the first item of tough love in this video, the rent. Go get the rent and the utilities because guess what? The eviction moratorium, the mortgage forbearance are all going away in September. Yes, last week the eviction moratorium was ruled unlawful. That order has been put on hold because an appeal is pending. But there's currently an entire mindset of ending the eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance in September. And guess what? There's no rent, and there's no food, and there's no internet, and there's no mortgage assistance in the fourth stimulus. It's done after third stimulus, so go get it. All right, so all that money that I just went over, rent and SNAP, that's $20,000. We're only 15 minutes in this video, and I got a lot more money coming up for you. So stay to the end. That money available for you is a lot of money, and it's for all of you. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Rail benefits, if you qualify for the stimulus check, then you qualify for this rent. Finally, if you cannot find the rent, or you reach out and you think that you're not qualified for the rent, you're disqualified for some particular reason, reach out to the nonprofits, United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, Catholic Charities, and St. Vincent de Paul. But guess what? I got hundreds, if not thousands of dollars landing in people's bank accounts this week automatically. And you don't have to do anything about it. I'm going to go over where that money is, what that money is, and I have no less than 6 other categories of money landing this week. I have all those great details, and I have more about the fourth stimulus and that breaking news today and fifth stimulus coming up after this commercial break. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Evenings LALATE. Hope you're having a beautiful evening across the board. I'm so excited you have joined me on a big, beautiful night. This is LALATE, and boy, if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I don't want you to miss a single video across the board. It's a big night, a lot of big news, and a lot of big money, so make sure you subscribe. New programming added to this channel throughout the day, and you're going to see more shows overnight, so stay with me and subscribe because I don't want you to miss any of those shows. Also, like this video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and if you're not becoming a member, consider becoming a member. Let's cut back to that other big money that's coming to you this week, and it's incredible great news. Item after item, one at a time. Get that pen ready. All right, first one is thousands of dollars have been returned back to you from states. How did this happen? The federal government, Department of Labor, Marty Walsh, former mayor of Boston, has ordered states to return thousands of dollars to recipients. What's at issue? Recipients who are on unemployment benefits had received a check from their state sometime in the last year for unemployment benefits. That was a surplus, a mistake to not the recipient's cause, but a mistake because of computer malfeasance at the state's unemployment office. The states had now reached out to recipients and said, return the money back to us. We overpaid you because of computer error. And those recipients did return the money. Walsh's Department of Labor has said that was an error by the states. They should not have ordered you to return the money. So they have been ordered to return the money back to you. Incredible, great news. I'm really excited for you. So this is thousands and thousands of dollars that states are returning back to consumers that have been overpaid during the unemployment process and had previously returned the money back to their states. Next, lots of money coming to Americans this week, millions and millions and millions of dollars. And you're among the viewers that are getting the money as well. Incredible news. Now, this is different routing money. The last money I just went over was a refund that's coming from the states. What I'm going to go over is money that's coming from the federal government. What is this? First, the first group is automatic. If you 1, file a 2020 tax return. 2, pay taxes on your unemployment benefits up to $10,200 and paid that to the federal government. 3, that's getting returned to you this week if you are if you're single filer. If you're a joint filer, husband and wife, your money's coming in the final week of May. Incredible great news. Here is an example. If you had a 2020 tax return, you filed it, you paid unemployment assistance, you paid insurance on your unemployment assistance of $4,000, your total tax bill that year on that tax return was $5,000, you're getting a return back from the federal government of $4,000. Incredible great news across the board. It is an automatic payment. You don't have to do anything. It's coming from the IRS. They are your payee to you at the address on your tax return unless you provided a direct deposit account when you file that 2020 return. Next, here comes the tough love, a series of items that viewers have to do to get money. You cannot sit back and do nothing because you will not receive the money. I'll have no less than 4 items of tough love that shows you where money is available for you, but you got to do something. And what I want to make very clear, which I haven't made clear until today's broadcast, is the following. When I say you need to reach out to tax preparer, that means you need to reach out to tax preparer. You do not reach out to the community page. They do not do tax advice for you or do tax returns. All right, so first group is people who had 2020 unemployment benefits and took out for taxes, federal taxes, throughout the year. You need to get that 2020 tax return on file ASAP because it's due in a few days. What's going on? If you had received unemployment benefits throughout last year and took out for federal taxes, well, guess what? You're entitled to all that thousands of dollars back from the federal government on a federal tax return. You have to go to a tax preparer and ask for all that money back from the federal government. Number 2, the children's check. Yes, it doesn't start till July, but the way to get the check, the deadline is this 2020 tax return in just a few days. Now, before I proceed, let me pause and say one thing very clear to viewers of this channel. You may not have to file a tax return because you don't make enough money, but you are required to file a tax return if they do not know that child exists. So if you want the money, you have to file the tax return. If you don't want the money, you don't have to file the tax return, but you're not going to get the money. So let me go over what this group is. 3 groups of people that I have identified that categorically need to file the tax return to get that money for the children of $3,600 to $3,000 starting the month of July. Group number 1. You never file a tax return. You have a child. You're on SSI, SSDI. They don't know the child exists. You must file the tax return to get that money paid to that child. That tax return is due in just a few days. Get it on file. Number 2, you do file tax returns, but you don't list that child. For whatever reason it is, maybe the child's just born, you need to file that tax return. And number 3, if you do file a tax return, you do list the child, but your most recent tax return showed you making too much money outside the eligibility zone, you need to get that tax return on file because guess what? That child will not get a check because your 2019 earnings, the most recent tax return on file, shows disqualification, making too much money, when your 2020 tax return potentially does show you eligible. And there you go. You see how I give you the tough love, but also showed you got to put the document on file ASAP. Finally, the last group. People with missing stimulus checks. If you're missing a first, second, or third stimulus check, or there's a household member like a grandma that didn't get a stimulus check at a time in which she was required to, and she's on your tax return, you got to tell that to the tax preparer. The 2020 return is the only place to get that missing stimulus check. And there we go. Let's go back to forced stimulus with incredible great news about the forced stimulus and what happened this day about that forced stimulus package. It's important to understand that the forced stimulus package got a strange twist, but an incredible push, from 2 items of news that broke today. Number 1 was Chipotle. Number 2 was the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve's Chicago president, Charles Evans, appeared on broadcast news, and he said that the Friday number was bad, but he says it's a little bit more complicated. We're restarting the economy. A lot of sectors are experiencing growth pains. Hopefully, it's just a 1-month kind of thing, and we're going to get better employment. I hopefully think so. This is him talking. I think it's going to take quite some time for us to actually get to the data, assess it. I can't give you a time frame. To average 2%, you've got to be over 2% for some period of time. So inflationary rates of 2.5% don't bother me as long as it's consistent with some averaging over 2% of time. So what was his statement? His statement shows that the economy's not rebounded, good for our stimulus checks, because of 2 data. 1, we're not staying above 2% inflation. Not a good, we're still very low. And second, he says that You have to show a more leveling out of these employment numbers. These numbers are not good. Then Chipotle's numbers, Chipotle's statements. Chipotle issued a really shocking statement on Monday that left a lot of people surprised. I was speechless. What did Chipotle say? It says by the end of the June, all employees of Chipotle will be paid at least $15 minimum wage, $15 an hour. And that will be 20,000 workers at least $15 an hour. That's step number one. Number two, that most employees will be upwards of $18 an hour. Number three, that store managers will be paid now $100,000 a year, and that anyone can become a store manager in less than 3.5 years of working at Chipotle at this $15 to $18 an hour. And number four, that Chipotle will be offering referral bonuses of $200 a person or $750 a general manager to bring in nearly 20,000 employees across the board. Restaurants everywhere across the board are having growing strains about getting employees in the door. This morning, the number 25 slash was trending on Twitter. Why? Because Twitter was saying that we're not returning back to work, or people on Twitter were saying they're not returning back to work unless they get $25 an hour. Yes, hundreds of thousands of tweets this morning showed that Americans said, we're not getting back to work unless you pay us $25 an hour. We're not coming back at $15 an hour, and we're not coming back at $17 an hour. Really surprising. This is where some type of change is going to have to come, and that change is going to have to come very quickly. Well, guess what? Fifth stimulus also got an incredible push from the President of the United States, and that push from the President of the United States was greatly needed. And that fifth stimulus is the single most important resolve and change you have ever seen in the history of this channel for your SSI and SSDI reform. Let's go over that fifth stimulus and how it works and who gets it. Fifth stimulus is the latest stimulus package that would be this fall, starting September. Two-bill, two-step, two-month process. And it will have a lot of wonderful things in there, but the most notable is the SSI reform. That SSI reform, again, will be an add-on from those Democrats. Two-bill, two-step, two-month process. And what are the provisions? Let's go over it. Increasing your benefit limits, adding an asset limit, removing the inflationary benchmark, then turning over and removing the marriage penalty, and then removing the income exclusion. Easy breezy to understand. Let's go over the data. And here we go. SSI and SSDI reform, one of the many items in the fifth stimulus. There's a lot of stuff in the fifth stimulus for people, individuals, single individuals, workers, seniors, but this is other things being added to it. First, they're going to raise your benefits up to a big new number. Yes, big new number. That would be your new benefits. Who's you? If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, this is you. Number two, your benefits would be tied to inflation. You just heard that Fed chair say, we need this inflationary rate higher. Good. That would mean your benefits go up higher. 2, 3, 4% inflationary rate over the next few years. Your benefits are going to go up. Then they're going to tie your benefits to no more asset cap. They're going to remove the asset cap, dating back to a 1980s law that says you cannot stay on benefits and also have assets on hand over $3,000. They're throwing that law away. Goodbye. Then they're going to remove the income cap. The income cap dates back to an 1960s law that says you cannot work but also stay on benefits. If you want to work, you will be able to work. Finally, the marriage penalty. They're going to remove the marriage penalty. So if you're suffering from the marriage penalty, facing the marriage penalty, it will be gone. How, where, and how will this work? This would be fifth stimulus. Two-bill, two-month, two-step process, start in September. Likely see the impact in your bank account by November. Again, I'm a reporter. I'm reporting the news. I'm not writing your legislation. I'm not voting on it. These are their representations across the board. What's important to understand is that this is in addition to the stimulus checks. This is in addition to the stimulus checks. And this is if you have multiple types of benefits, you would get all your benefits raised up. You would not be disqualified from something else like Medicare or Medicaid or anything else. Let's cut back to that fourth stimulus and the incredible great news about fourth stimulus. Senator House, jump in the live chat right now. Is it Senator House? Which one do you like? Remember, it's a vote-o-rama, and they have to get that done, and the monthly stimulus checks were initially impacted by speed issues, but those speed issues no longer seem to be a concern because this economy is not rebounding as quickly as possible. $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000. $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400. Likely possibilities from the Senate plan. House or Senate, which one is it? And I'm in the live chat, so say hi, how are you? Meantime, if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I'm looking forward to seeing you later tonight because there's more shows coming up after this. Several more shows, so stay with me. Also, like this video, 3,000 likes. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, keep on smiling, keep on staying positive. Don't track checks, cash checks. This is 2020. I want you to learn how to make money, and I want you to learn how to get ahead, jump into all the other shows, including our new cryptocurrency coverage, to learn how to make money and learn how to go from positive to better. This is Evenings LALATE.